Stuff my face with bread, with breasts, with a shoulder of a friend, with a corner of a desk, with communion, with a yes, and I tell you. Oh yeah.
Welcome back to Pretty Much Experts. I'm Robert John, and Mike's frozen already, but there's Skyler opening the bong up.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Oh yeah. And as we said,
Opposite of frozen.
Mike's frozen. His Tim Hortons has got a lot of extra cars in that parking lot today, and just choppy internet.
Oh yeah. It's all those people cashing in their roll up the wins. You gotta get them. You gotta get them in before they expire.
Is it still a thing? I haven't been to Hortons in so long.
I think it's all digital now. You don't
Oh,
roll
yeah?
up the rim anymore. You gotta download the app and scan your coffee or something stupid like that.
I mean, that's not as fun, but also rolling up the rim was a pain in the ass, and I never did it.
Oh yeah, I always just use my teeth.
I wouldn't even do that. Like, I'm just throwing out possible barbecues with every drink. Like, I couldn't be bothered.
Who needs a RAV4?
I don't need this.
Right?
Like, I'm gonna use my fucking teeth and get them all coffee stained.
And you don't even get to like. I'm pretty sure you just like rent the vehicle for a year or two. You don't even get to keep it.
Yeah, it's like
not even worth
it's
a
a
roll.
lease basically. It's not
Yeah.
worth the roll. That's really get you.
Now, if you could roll a fucking RAV4 every year, that would be pretty sick.
I mean, even getting it once would be fucking sick.
Yeah, like that's not downplay how sick it would be.
That would be really sick. Yeah. But also, I couldn't be bothered to roll that shit up. I'm just gonna throw it out.
Do you think it's like a real rent-a-car where you just like can use it and abuse the shit out of it and then like give it back and?
I would
It'd be,
assume
like,
so. They can't
just
give it.
haggard.
Yeah, they can't give it to you and then like you have to pay for any damages giving it back. That's insane.
Oh yeah. You gave me this.
You
free
gave
vehicle.
it to me. That's the prize. If this is just a scam for them to like make their money back in damages, like scuffle on the bumper, need to rotate the tires, like these are all like your auto bill at the end of a year.
Yeah.
Like, that's horse shit.
We gave you a car and a $15,000 bill. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't been to Hortons in quite a long time. I feel like not that I'm boycotting by any means, but it was just it's a lot of money that adds up over the span of a month. Getting a coffee before work every morning.
Yeah, that's where
Breakfast
Horton.
Sammy.
That's where it gets me because I always forget how cheap it is. So then I like think like, oh, I should just do this more often. And then when you realize it was like $4 a day, sometimes $8 depending on what Sammy you got.
Yeah,
Like it adds up. But it is like, oh, I just want a coffee, and then you look like, oh, like a donut or a bagel's like $2. Like, yeah, might as well get a bagel also, and then get a little sweet thing to round it out, make a nice, healthy, delicious breakfast, and now it's like, wow.
Oh man, the other day I went and got my tires changed over from my winters to my all seasons.
Oh yeah.
And I had myself a breakfast sandwich from Tim Hortons, and I think I messaged you guys.
Yeah,
It kind
you
of like
enjoyed it.
knocked my pants off. Like it was. They've changed the egg, and it's just like, wow, what the fuck was I eating before?
Yeah,
you know?
what was that egg shape before?
What the fuck was that shit? Didn't hold up. Hopefully, going forward, that's all. They're not going back to that shit. This isn't just a trial.
I don't know. I never ate the eggs before, so I don't know what they tasted like. So I don't even know if it's been a recent changeover and you just haven't had an egg Sammy in a while.
That's a possibility. I think they advertised though that there was
new fresh egg.
new fresh egg,
Real egg.
fresh crack. I think they call it freshly cracked. I feel like McDonald's did the same thing like 4 years ago, and it was also a game changer.
Right. Like instead of just eggs coming as like a jelly they squirt out, it's like they have actual eggs now.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I guess they're still pre-cooked. Like I can't imagine they're cracking eggs on the grill.
Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah, I don't even think they have grills at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I think it's all microwave. Like,
Yeah.
do they actually make burger? I have no idea.
know. I think they must. Remember, like, McDonald's or Tim Hortons kind of ventured into the hamburger.
Yeah, McDonald's, but they always ruin everything.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, though, I think that's the same technology, just that, like, not even microwave, just those hot shelves.
Yeah. Like a toaster oven thing, like the way they cook the bagel. Because I just can't picture McDonald's trusting like a bunch of random ass 14-year-olds to like cook hamburgers. It seems like they're way too organized for that. Like it would just be like the bagel cooker, just like put the patties on this thing, and by the time it reaches that end, it's like perfectly burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just some fucking shit stain of a teenager.
Having to flip burgers and shit, like that's not a thing.
Yeah, he's just playing on his phone.
Yeah.
Burger flipping game or something.
Yeah. It's Chef's Up or whatever that game was called.
Piece of shit.
But yeah, there's no way they make people cook and do their actual job there. Look at this fucking cuck is back finally.
Wow.
Are we recording?
Oh yeah, we're still going, bud. We've been talking about Tim Hortons.
Oh god.
Hopefully
the internet doesn't cut out. Because I'm griping on Hortons, buddy.
Start with their internet, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm nowhere near Hortons.
What are you using for internet?
Well, I got my phone as a hotspot, right?
Yeah.
And I'm leeching off like the free Vancouver internet. It's called Pound Telus.
Oh.
Ooh.
Or hashtag Telus, whatever, the way the kids say it, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pound.
Yeah.
I got it.
Pound Telus, yeah.
I call it Pound Telus because it sounds way sexier.
Yeah, because it was definitely a pound before it was a hashtag.
Oh, yeah. It still is. It's still a pound.
It would be a pound
it's
tag, I guess.
Pound to me.
Pound tag.
Yeah. Pound of flour's pound of flour, bud. Yeah.
Pound
But
button.
what are you guys griping on? What about
It's been
Hortons?
actually like pretty like low spirited. Acknowledgement to the land that I took a lot of edibles this afternoon, so I'm kind of spacing right now.
It's great. Taking lots of drugs, yeah. You
also full blown look like Blossom. I'm just gonna say that.
Thank
because
you.
I've been dropping that joke
That's
a bunch.
great to know.
Yeah.
just needs a big flower on his hat.
Oh, I'm sure it's there.
It's
just
coming.
too dark in that fucking
Well,
stoner's
you're the one that
closet he's
started
got
the
going
fucking
on.
bucket hat trend, and I'm just trying to keep up with you,
That's right.
bud.
Was I wearing it last week too?
Yeah, you goof.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I totally remember.
Good
Doing
one.
fashion, right? I was doing fashion.
High
Yeah.
fashion.
High
for
fashion.
Everybody, yeah. Oh, yeah. No fashion today, though.
But the main question off the top, guys. Mike, you've been going on about your fucking car for days, and we have no idea what you're talking about. So you're selling a car.
I'm sure your brother has some idea. He's a car guy, okay?
I'm a
He's
car
not
guy,
that
yeah,
much of a
I
car
got
guy.
some things, yeah.
This
Car
is
guy.
the way I understood what was happening. Skyler can then explain to me what he thinks is happening, and then you can give the real answer. You're selling a car on Craigslist for like not that much because the car doesn't run that well, and then for some other reason,
You're already wrong.
hey, let me go first. I'm gonna go first, and then Skyler, and then you tell the real story. So you start lighting up our chat about I'm gonna sell my car finally, and we're all like, I can't believe you even have a car. You have 3 vans and a truck. I thought the car was gone like last summer, but okay. You found a buyer.
Oh,
This
that's
guy's
my
gonna
shed.
come. This guy's coming over to get the car, and you're like, yep, it's going Saturday or whatever. And then for some reason, you've just been posting days about all the parts you're taking off the car and piling them in the back seat.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully he takes them. And I'm
No.
really confused.
Sorry.
You
Keep going.
yeah,
No,
it just seems like you're taking all the parts off you don't think he needs, or parts that are going to be valuable or something.
If I could elaborate, I
Sure.
think you're close. I think you're close.
I thought I was. Yeah.
What I think he's doing is that he's scrapping his vehicle, the
Yes.
car, and
Okay.
has also decided that he's gonna take everything that's not glued down or isn't the chassis out of it, so he can either sell those parts and or use those parts for his new van
Uh-huh.
that have matching parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nailed it.
So it's like
Nailed it.
yeah, like they
I
basically.
mean, RJ, you weren't too far off, but it was,
Yeah. I
It
know
was the RJ version for sure. It's as much as you listen to the things I say.
Yeah.
You picked up as much as you actually listen to what I say.
So you're taking
I mean,
things
no,
like
you
the
both nailed it,
hubcaps
really.
off the car.
Nice.
I left the hubcaps. I don't.
Oh,
14-inch
yeah.
wheels. I don't have any other 14-inch wheels.
Yeah, it'd be
They're
silly to
garbage.
keep those.
I'll let them go.
But you got the
I was
like.
gonna keep one because I have a banjo that needs a back. Like my old banjo doesn't have a resonator back, so I was like, "Oh, I'll grab a hubcap." And then as it was pulling away, I was like, "Oh, man, I forgot." You know.
Nice.
I actually forgot a couple things as it was pulling away.
Like we were
But
talking about.
I did scrap the car. You're
Nice,
right about
yeah.
that.
We were talking about too because I remember you were considering siphoning the gas out of the car, and I
Yeah,
had
it only
told you-
had like an eighth of a tank, so I was like, whatever, you know. It had 5 liters probably in there, old shitty gas. It was like, what am I gonna do with this? I'm gonna drink half of it and then what? Start a fire with the other half? It's like, you know.
Yeah.
Clean some
Yeah,
tools,
burn down your
maybe.
good spot. Yeah, no, I
I'm gonna burn down one of my vans.
I just thought, like when I got rid of my truck a month ago, I had the same thought of like, fuck, I wish there was like a device. I'm sure there is, just something that
There
you
is.
stick down in the tank and can pump it out. But
Yeah, they
it's
don't
just,
work
like,
very well, but
there was
is.
definitely like a bunch of gas in that truck when I got rid of it. I'm sure they'll do it too, like just suck it all out.
Oh yeah, they'll suck it out. And like they're way more inclined to use it too, because like that's kind of their business, right, at the scrapyard.
Yeah.
So my understanding is, I sold it to a middleman essentially. Like I sold it to a guy, and he's gonna bring it to the scrapyard to get the vehicle price, and then at the scrapyard they're gonna break it down into parts. That's kind of the idea I got, right? So I took what I needed off it, like, or what I could use essentially. Like I didn't take everything I could, because I don't need everything, because I don't have another small Dodge, right, like a 4-cylinder Dodge. Like I don't have one, so I don't need any of that kind of crap. But there's like some electronic pieces that kind of cross over year to year, right? So like that was an 88 and the new van's a 91, so it's right there in the wheelhouse. Like for instance, the alternator was exactly the same bracketry, same connection. So instead of like maybe needing an alternator later, because the van's new, I don't know enough about it to be like it is or isn't a problem, or will or won't be a problem. I was like, well, it saved myself $200 on an alternator and just pull this one out of the Dodge instead of giving it to the guy, you know?
Yeah.
So I pulled a bunch of shit like that. Like I pulled some relays and some wiring, and I took the battery out and the coil and blah, 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 blah. Like all electrical stuff pretty much, right?
Nice. Yeah.
And then the guy came.
good copper.
So I found him on Facebook. It was like one of those like, we'll pay for any cars, right? And see, he honey-dicked me the same way he did to you, where he was like, yeah, I'll give you $250, and I was like, perfect. Like I would have let you have it for free, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't tell him that. I was like $250, perfect. And he gave me $200 when he got there, which is reasonable. Like as far as like he quoted me $250 and gave me $200, like I'm all right with it. And I also had like a catalytic converter I cut off the truck. I threw that in there as well. And then right there on the side of the road, he came and chopped the catalytic converter. Like I took the air cleaner off, and you kind of get it from the front, and he got his Sawzall in there and just cut the cat right off the Dodge right there on the side of the street. Like, so he had the 2 cats he could trade in separately because they pay money for those.
See,
right?
this is the part I was confused with. Your story starts with you did all these things for you, and then your story just blended into you taking other random parts out that the guy could have. And I'm like, why are you doing this work? Like, that seems like such a waste of time.
He took it for himself.
Uh-huh.
I didn't do any of that. The only thing that I did as a benefit to him was I already had the cat off my truck last year when I did the exhaust. And I threw that in the back of the car at that time because I knew the car was going to eventually go to scrap, right? Like it wasn't, it's not worth selling. It was too shitty. It needed too much work. I was like, it's eventually going to go to scrap. I might drive it there myself. So I'm going to throw the cat in the back because it's probably a $50. I could probably get $50 at the scrapyard for it. Right. So it's already in the car. So when the guy came and got the car, I was like, just take the cat. Like I'm not gonna drive to the scrapyard and turn it in myself. Just like throw it in.
Yeah.
And I had a bunch of old rims and shit that came with the car originally. Threw that in the back for extra weight, you know. So no, everything was kind of like I didn't do anything extra for him. Not even a stitch.
Yeah. Okay. So I did barely read those messages, but I took it like there's a car full of extra parts for some reason.
They're for me.
Yeah.
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 But
Yeah,
I
it's
did
his
only
hoarding
took
car.
I took one milk crate full of parts, so like not a lot realistically, because the alternator's this as big as your head, right?
Yeah.
So like I filled one milk crate full of parts, like a few hoses, wires, a couple electrical parts, and then I went around and peeled off all the chrome and like trim because it's basically the same trim that's on the van, the new van. So if a trim piece goes to shit on the van, I can snip up this shit I just pulled off the car, off the wagon, and I can fit it to the van. Like I got some pretty messed up trim on the van as it is, like it's just all scratched up and shit. So I got some fucking chrome, baby. I got some trim pieces, baby. I got some electrical pieces, baby.
The
I'm
more
good, I'm
of
set.
your version of the story, the more my version sounds correct.
Well, I did it for me though. I didn't do it for him.
It's fucking milk crate full of goddamn trim and shit.
Yeah, I went. Well, for there. You know those bags your dad used to have at your house for garbage? Those really tall,
Oh, yeah.
thick ones.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a couple of those, so I filled one of those with trim. So there is a little excess of stuff. I mean, it's not full, but it's like I took all the door seals too because those are expensive. So
Of course.
I was like,
I
I might
mean,
need some door
whose
seals.
story was right? Whose
So
story was
I
right?
took all that shit and I filled
All the door
those
seals.
bags.
You need those. Fuck yeah.
What are you gonna
Definitely
do
need
with
the door
trim?
seals.
Cut it to shape and fit it around the door trim that's all bagged out on these old vans.
Okay.
You're gonna
It's
make
Like
a
all the
little
rubber
chest.
seals?
I think you're
Yeah.
making a chest set out
Oh.
of the pieces.
No.
Yep.
No.
Prison
That
chest
boat
Because
set.
that
be
shit's
pretty
expensive
cool.
to get like door seal and door trim. It's like $50 a door.
Wow. Yeah.
Like that, and that's on the cheap, dude. Like if you were to order it from Canadian Tire or Napa, you're paying $100 a door. So like to get it on the cheap, it's like $50 a door, and it's some of it's molded, but the shit on these old cars are generally just long pieces that you clip in. So that's what it was. So when I noticed that that's what it was, I pulled all the door trim off because my old vans, my 77s, like the one I'm in now and the other one, it's all just straight up generic trim, door trim or door seal. So I just like fuck it, I'll replace all the old dried out seals on the old vans. Fuck
So
it,
hold
right?
on. When you say trim, are you talking
Sorry,
about?
the trim
Like-
is the shit on the outside of the car, like the little bumper around the door, the
Yeah.
chrome around the windows. I pulled all that shit.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like the rubber seals that go in
And
between
that
your
too.
car?
And that.
I did that.
All
I
the
took that
crap
too.
off the
Yeah,
car.
I took that too. That shit's
Wow.
the $50 a door that I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm keep thinking that when you're saying trim, you're talking about the like
did say
little
trim by accident.
around the middle, like the belt of the vehicle.
Oh, I took
yeah?
that too.
Oh, he's got
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
I took what I could. Yeah.
I'm glad
Literally
you
everything.
specified, yeah.
Picked clean.
I took the stuff that like you can't buy essentially, and then the stuff that
Door
I
handles.
would potentially need to buy for the van
Yeah.
later on this summer. So I took stuff that I could use in the van, and then the trim pieces and this that you can't really buy. You know, I took all the emblems off too, right? I got the
course.
Dodge emblem off. I got
course,
the LE
Of course.
emblem off.
What about the window rolly uppy
I
thing?
popped all that shit off, baby.
Yeah.
I took the window rolly uppy thing. Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah, you need that.
I took the little armrest in the back. There's two on each side, or one on each side. The little armrest with the ashtray in it. Oh yeah, I took all that.
Oh
shit.
yeah, you need that. What about the cigarette lighter?
Yep, took it.
Of course, of course.
Yep. They're chrome, baby. They're chrome.
What about the ashtray?
Took the ashtray. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Of course,
okay.
dude. Good.
Seat
It was full of
belts.
rest-
or-
Seatbelt. That's a good one.
No, I didn't take any of that crap. That stuff's actually surprisingly hard to remove because it's a safety component. You know, like you gotta get some you gotta get an impact on there, and it's like dun, 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 and then even then, it's like you might not be able to loosen the bolt. Like the seat belts are in there, dude.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, I've tried. Not on this vehicle, but
Do you
I've
think
tried.
you can get
It's a
anything
bitch.
for the airbag or?
There's no airbag. It's an 88.
Okay. Okay.
It only had one mirror. Like it came from the factory with a driver's side mirror. There's no passenger side mirror. You don't get to see anything coming at you from the
No point.
passenger side. You know? Like that's
No.
from the factory. There's only one mirror on the car. No, there's no fucking airbag. The back had 3 seats. Like it's a 3-seater bench, right?
Yeah.
2 seat belts. So, like, the middle person's just kind of got to figure it out.
Yeah, keep your knees up.
Hold on.
You just gotta lock arms. We've all been there.
Yeah, lock arms, baby. Get your shoulders in the other seatbelts, because, like, that's your best bet.
Just lay flat across the people that are sitting.
Yeah.
Become a human seatbelt.
It's kind of a bummer to scrap. I don't like the idea of scrapping these old things, but that vehicle was just so trashed and so far gone that it's kind of like I got as much as you could possibly get off of it before it got realistically
Right.
before it got crushed. Like I
Yeah.
took the headlights because the headlights are literally the exact same as my truck. Surprisingly enough, which is a Chevy, but it's the same 60, 54, whatever the code is, exactly the same on my truck. So I took the headlights, I took the bulbs out of every fucking thing, you know, like I got everything I could out of it.
Nice. That's all you can ask for. It's like a marriage.
What about the fabric off
mean-
the seats? Like a big square of back fabric?
No, that shit was trash, dude.
Oh, okay.
When I got the car, it had a Mexican blanket on it because they were so nasty. And the
Right.
guy's like, so I already given the guy the money and like signed the papers, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna grab my blanket. And when he pulled the blanket, I was like, oh my god, it looks like someone barfed hot plastic all over the fucking seat, dude.
That was totally not by
It was, like,
accident
burned
either.
and had all
Like,
this plastic. And,
wait till that paper's signed,
Oh, yeah,
then I'm
for
gonna
sure.
be like, oh yeah, my blanket.
Oh, yeah, my Indian blanket or my Mexican blanket, whatever it
for
was.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Oh, for
fucking
sure it was
give
on
it a good flap too, right? Before you take it out of the car. Like, I'm not taking that shit.
The funniest part of all this to me was I find this guy on Facebook. He's got like an ad up for like scrap cars, and there's like 5 different guys on there. So I messaged them all with the same copy and paste. This is what's up. It's gonna be available starting Sunday. Well,
Yeah.
this guy, it's like, well, I can come Saturday, and it's like, fuck it, I can do Saturday, whatever. I was gonna take a couple days to pull parts, but I was like, I went there Friday night at like 7 p.m. and I stayed till like 2 in the morning, and I just on the side of the road.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single cop at all. No cops, nothing. I'm literally just pulling apart this car all over the fucking side of the road in the ditch, you know.
Yeah.
Not a single cop drove by, or if they did, they didn't stop. Like, they don't give a fuck down there, man. Anyways,
Wait, so did the car break down, or did you just have it parked somewhere?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, okay.
Like, it ran if you tried to get it running. You had to try to get it running.
Yeah.
You had to play with the key, you had to play with the battery, you had to go jiggle some wires, and then it was like, it might, you know. You had to go to park to neutral, to park to neutral, to park to neutral, you know, try to get the neutral safety switch to, like, read a signal. Like, it was on its way. And then, like, the power steering leaked, and the rear suspension was gone, and the tires were shot, alignment, all that shit. Like, I had so much shit. So anyways, I find this guy, and on Facebook his name is Adam Jones. And I'm
Okay.
like, whatever. There's like 5 different guys. There's Akbar, Balingbar, and then there's fucking Adam Jones, and then there's fucking Tiffany, you know, Schmiffany, and then there's all these people. Adam Jones shows up. Well, his name is, you know, not Adam Jones. His name is Muhammad, Mabakbar or whatever, right? Super nice guy, like very fucking friendly dude. And I was like, Adam? He's like, eh. And I was like,
Yeah, I work for
okay.
Adam.
Like, when he first showed up, I was like, oh, are you Adam? He's like, eh. And I was like, okay, I guess. Like, whatever. You got cash? Yeah, good enough. It was just like, why are you up there as Adam Jones? It's like his alias.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. Apparently there
The
is like
whitest name possible.
a scam where, like, obviously he's not doing it to your car because you gutted the fucking thing, but like apparently like they'll just like there's a scam where they'll take your car and then like just do crime in it, and it's all.
Oh, there's no way this vehicle's ever gonna run again with the amount of shit I snapped off it. Like, I wasn't liberal about anything too. I got in there with my snips and just like cut, you know, like RJ doing his art, just
Yeah.
Good enough.
snipping away. Yeah.
It adds character. Yeah.
That makes sense. So when you said that too, when you were getting rid of your truck and you're like, oh, you know, Kevin was worried that, you know, people might do crimes with it. I was like, oh, that's a great scam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just like, I'll take your car for scrapping and
Sure.
give you $400, and then they take the ownership, whatever, and just do crime. Like, don't transfer it or anything.
No, they
like,
don't transfer it.
But it's so
Yeah,
traceable.
Oh yeah,
I would say yeah. I mean, if you're Adam Jones on Facebook, though, is it traceable?
And
That's true,
enough
too.
that it's like if you're committing crimes, like why would you leave any trail of like eyewitness,
Yeah.
like at this address the day before, like you could describe
that's
who
true.
took your truck.
I think
Yeah.
maybe it's like if you're going to do that, there'd be some degrees of separation from the people doing the crime. Like you, as the tow truck guy and the guy doing like the transfer and the money exchange, you're not the guy actively going out and doing the crime. You're doing
Yeah.
that so another guy can come and take the truck and do the crimes.
Yeah.
And there's like, you know.
And it's easy enough
Less
for
of a
like
paper
I guess that tow truck driver to just report it stolen, like
Totally,
car stolen off the lot, and just like
Yeah.
either look the other way or he's the one using it for crimes. But
Yep.
they can trace it back to like, yeah, I did pick it up, but then it was stolen that afternoon.
Now, if Rue was the guy doing the crimes, that would be a genius scam. So he thinks he's scamming you, but then you go and fucking double dick him and go and steal your truck back with
Steal
the
it
spare
back.
key that you have
Yeah.
and do the crimes. Throw your
Yeah.
old plates on and everything. You know?
Yeah. I mean, maybe next time, next vehicle, right? Like
Next time, yeah, it's worth a thought, right? Yeah, it's worth it.
So what did you end up getting for the car?
$200?
Oh, that's alright.
Yeah.
What was his
$200
reason for
and I would-
knocking $50 off? It was picked clean by squirrels?
No, he knew. I told him. Like, I messaged him and said, I'm going to take this, that, and this. I hadn't taken more shit than I said,
course.
but no, he didn't even care, dude. Like, he didn't even look at it. Like, I
But then
popped
why
him
does
and
he
he's like,
lowball
okay.
you? Like, if he doesn't care, what's his reason?
That's their scam. That's their
Yeah.
scam. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just their scam. There was no justification for it except for, oh, you know, prices aren't great. And I was like, dude, I know it's $175 a ton. Like,
Yeah.
you're talking to the wrong guy here. This is what I do, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not out there scrapping, but I'm up on all of it. So it's
Yeah.
like you're talking to the wrong guy. I know that you're going to get vehicle price at $175 a ton. So it's like, and plus the 2 cats that you cut off,
Yeah.
you're probably somewhere around $300. So he's not making a ton of money. He's probably only making $100,
Yeah.
maybe $150 tops on this, right? So he could have lowballed me even more, and I would have taken it for sure. If he said $50, I would have been like, yeah, okay. You know, at this
Yeah.
point,
Yeah.
it's like I can't put it all back together. Yeah.
Someone's got
He could have, like, if he was he was a super rad dude, really nice guy, and like we had a good couple laughs about how shitty the car was and everything, and like if he was a piece of shit, like a real scumbag, like kind of like me, or like even more so, like if he was even worse, he could have been like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna pay you nothing for this, and I would have been in a corner. Been like, well, you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
take it. You said you're taking it. I cut everything off it. Like, no, I'm not
Cut the
taking
brake
it. It's
lines.
like, well, just take it. Like, he could have fucking like, what do you call it? Like, Mexican standoff with me.
Yeah.
Wow. You
Yeah,
think
he's
so?
like, you owe me $50.
Also could have just like stabbed you.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you owe me money now somehow. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not
so
taking it unless
many.
you pay me $100.
That
I
would be
would've
the
had to.
scam.
I would have had to.
That would have been
You know?
that's the new scam. Show up and flip it. Like, actually,
Scam.
I'm losing
Yeah.
money. You have to give me $100.
And
Totally.
suck my dick.
I mean, I would say that, like, I think it's because I divulged too much information to him, basically.
Right.
I basically told him, like, I put all my cards on the table before he even showed up to look at the car. I told him, I'm
Yeah.
cutting everything off it. It's quote-unquote parked outside my work, even though it was just
Right.
on a random street, you know? And I was
Yeah.
like, it's gotta go. So, like, he could have, if he was a shithead or a scumbag, he could have taken me for that car for free, basically. But he gave me
Oh,
$200,
yeah.
so, you know?
That's like when I did mine. When like I looked online, right? I just Googled it, like
Yeah.
scrapping Guelph, what's up? And the first one came
Yeah.
up, and there was all these things like this is safe, blah blah blah. You know, like certified, whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know what you're even certifying, but it looked legit.
Was
So
it part of a program, like a provincial program?
What you mean, like kidney cars or something?
Like, because they have it out here too. It's called like Recycle It. So like everyone
Oh.
bids on the car, kind of thing. The recycling companies bid on the car. Anyways,
I have
yeah,
no idea.
It's not.
Yeah,
it's
I
not
have-
like that. No.
So,
It's
like I
just a car.
said, the first thing that came up, I clicked on it, and it was just like, you know, cash for like, I don't even know what it was, like for scrap, and
Cash for clunkers. Yeah.
and like it was just like I called them, they were like, yeah, we'll be there, whatever. They came, they like kind of like what you were saying, like they said $1,000 for my truck, and then when they came and looked at it, they were like, we'll give you 6. And it was like, okay, it's better than I thought I was getting 5, maybe
Yeah,
450,
totally.
right? But 1,000 was also kind of really cool. And it just like happened so quick. Everything like handed everything over, and then I went inside and got a little high, and then, like fucking Kevin was just like, "Did you think you might have gotten ripped off? Like, didn't you have to sign anything? Like, didn't you,
no!" And then your head starts going.
And then the anxiety kicked in, that grade 7 weed fucking feeling, where it was just like, oh my god, like,
oh no, my boots are in the back.
My boots, that I bought 8 years ago that I never wore. No, and then, but like then I had to call, like, so I called the guy back, right?
Yeah.
Like I just like called him, and he answered, and then like he also like his phone didn't work. He kept being like, I'll call you back, and it was just like,
getting scammed.
I'm getting scammed. Like I fucking it's like, but he gave me money. Like there was a transaction here,
cash money, not
like
I
do have money. So like if he takes that car and does whatever he wants with it, uses it as a soup kitchen or something, like it doesn't matter to me anymore. But I was just so convinced, and like finally, like about like 45 minutes later, because the guy came from like Toronto to take this thing, that he called me when he got back and was just like, do this all the time, man. Like, don't worry. Like, it's legit. Like, you just have to go to Service Ontario and tell them that you don't
trade
own
in
that
your
truck.
plates.
Right, turn your plates in. And I guess you get money if you have paid. Like, my plates were expired. So
right. Oh, you'd be paid back the difference on your...
if you got to update your fucking sticker or whatever, right? You get your money back. But it was like, even as I'm doing it, it's like, and this is where they tell me, like, oh, Mr. Patterson, like, somebody crashed this car into an orphanage. Like, what do you know about that? You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know.
But the scam could still be, you could still got.
Yeah.
Like, meaning just
have gotten.
Yeah, just that driver for no reasons. Like, oh, actually, it's only 6, and he goes back to work and pockets that $400.
Yeah. Or even if it's $100,
like that could happen. But that's that's not your loss. That's like well done driver. That's a good plan.
Yeah. I'd say as the driver, if you're not the company owner, like that's kind of how you make your money.
You'd have to do that every time, or else you're a loser. Yeah, try.
Yeah, skim 100
off
the top at least.
Yeah,
try.
You gotta try.
I don't know what would be a bigger bang for your buck. I think like if I didn't want a second vehicle, so we didn't get one. But it's like I probably could have like got that truck started and used it as a like down payment on another vehicle. Might have made like financially to
trade it. You might have got 1,000 at a dealership,
Yeah, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it was a piece of junk, and I didn't.
The thing is, they're going to look at it and go over it, and the only thing that's going to be worth value is like scrap weight, the cat, and then you got added a new engine in there that was probably pretty toast anyways, but, like it was a newer engine, so like there is some value in it. You still probably only would have got 1,000 traded. Max 1,000 traded,
But either way,
but it was 2009, right? The truck was 2009?
It was in 06, baby.
06.
Pick up sticks.
So yeah, I mean, it's still got some value. I mean, if it wasn't like you used that thing literally to its grave, you had that thing going to its grave. You got your money's worth and then some out of it for sure. I mean, like if it wasn't so fucked up, like that truck could still get $5,000 on the market if someone had like not used it as a truck.
Like foolish, like your workmate that bought a fixer-upper by accident, Skyler.
Oh my god, yeah. Like that's the other thing.
What happened
it's
there?
Like I don't want to like speak ill.
The dead.
Like,
living.
I just have hundreds of stories of people that like want to buy a truck and buy like old ones, and they just are like complete junk and fall apart. And like I don't know, this friend of a friend.
To look for.
Friend of a friend's kid bought like a truck that was older than mine. It was like an 02 or an 03, like a Ford Ranger kind of thing, and bought it for like $2,000, and then like within the first 6 months like had to get like like a bunch of shit, like had to drop another like $2,000 to even get it like road safe kind of thing.
Wow.
Like
because I guess with 02 you still need to get inspected and E-certified or whatever, E-tested and all that shit,
but
right?
I think it was just, I can't remember
you
what it was.
You don't got to do that out here.
But he also, like, he got in an accident, so I think that's also what didn't help it. Like, he had to replace a bunch of shit, and then he, like,
Yeah, and I
smashed
think you got to
it.
get an inspection afterwards. Once you get in an accident, to get it back on the road, you have to get re-inspected.
Yeah, so it's like...
You don't got to do any of that shit out here. Nothing.
There was a dude at my work that, like, offered me... I can't remember what he offered me originally. Like, $750 for the truck.
It's like a good deal, but...
And it was like, dude, that's a solid deal, but, like, I'll be honest,
yeah,
like, it's
you're
not
not
the
getting
money.
anything.
Like, I'm not selling you this truck, and then it...
You're going to be so pissed.
Yeah. Like, it's not what you think. It's not...
No.
I'm going to sell it to you, and then you're going to... And then, like, RJ, like, you were there for last year, where it was like, we put in, like, $1,000, $1,500 into it, easy, in a year. That it's... And that was
and it's just next year it's gonna be another 1,000. Next year's gonna be and it's just gonna be constant. So it's like,
and like you know what, it was like the bottom was
Saving
rusting out, but it was just always like something different. It was something, you know what I mean? That it's that, like, it's not the same thing that's failing. It's just everything is failing at this point.
Yeah.
And if you're not doing the work yourself, like it, with any vehicle, it costs literally 5 times as much money to keep them on the road. So it's like,
right?
Even with that truck, like, specifically, like, it's just like a little dumb thing, but like the tailgate doesn't like close properly. In that, like, if you open the tailgate, like, the pins stay in it, so you have to really like work to fucking close the thing. So you just never open it. And I like went with the lady friend at the time and got groceries and like drove back to the house, and she just, without even thinking, like goes to the back, pops the tailgate to grab groceries, and it was like, no, like, I'm gonna be out here for like 20 minutes now to get this fucking thing to close. Yeah. It's just little things like that. Like, yeah, you could sell that for $750, but like that guy's gonna be fucking pissed every day when there's a new thing.
No, don't sell to someone you know.
No, exactly. And even then, it's like, I feel like you sell it to someone you don't know. And that's like when you get that, like, again, like you get that email in like 2 months, like, my son died in your death trap.
Right. Oh, yeah, even like the last time I had it, it was like the signal light was like not really working either. It wasn't a bulb, it was electrical, and it's like, that's, you know, this truck's on the way out.
I mean, again, like, if someone bought it and they're like full in, like, I know it's $500 and I know it's gonna cost me $1,500, like, in all these hours to do it, that's great. If that person comes with that in mind and they say that to you and they're capable, or even if they're not and they want to learn and teach themselves how to do it, great. It's the only way to learn is to get your hands dirty, right? But like, to like sell it to someone and be like, that's the same with my car too. It's like, I could have sold that for $300 on Facebook Marketplace, but then it's like, I have that like in the back of my mind, like, now I'm kind of liable for at least a little bit, like how this fucking a little bit, like in my conscience, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm liable. Maybe not financially or legally, but like in my conscience, I'm liable for anything that might happen to this guy, because there's so many
soft
issues.
Motherfucker going on about his conscience. Ooh, my conscience.
Well, I got one. What are you gonna do, right?
Since when?
Yeah, since
I'm not a rat. You know, I'm not a rat.
You're
I
good.
didn't call you a rat.
No, but you know what I say when I refer to rats. Like, I'm not a rat.
I hope you're. I think you're talking about the mammal, the small rodent.
I'm not. So I have a conscience. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
No, but
like, I'm not chasing the almighty dollar. So.
I'm with you, and you know what? Like, I'm just like, I don't care for bargaining. I don't care for bargaining, and I don't care to like put more money into it. If someone was like I want to split on a safety, I want to do this, I want to do all that shit. I'm just so lazy that it's like just. No. Someone come and take this away from me, so I never have to deal with it again.
If you're gonna make any more work for me, you can't have it.
Exactly.
You can't have it. You're out, bud. You're out. Like, you can double the money. You're out. I don't care. I don't want your money.
Uber Eats has ruined fucking like ordering pizzas to the home. Like, I refuse to do it now because like Uber Eats, I don't even have to like get off my couch to just leave it on the stoop. You know what I mean?
That is great.
But pizza, like, they knock and it's like, where's my tip? And it's all that shit. It's like, no, like, I can't go back.
Yeah, answering the door is so 2019.
Can't
like,
you
just
order
leave it
through Uber Eats?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
I guess he can, but I feel like no one does. Like,
you could.
Every pizza place has their own delivery, has their own Uber Eats.
Yeah, but Uber's better.
It's true. Like if you just said. Domino's, it's through Domino's.
Yeah, you're right.
Uber's
it's definitely
better.
Worth it.
You're paying that extra premium for them to just leave it on the stoop and not bother you.
Yeah. I'm not fucking putting pants on. I'm gonna wait for you to like drive away,
off,
and then I'm gonna snake my hand out and fucking grab it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's gonna be really hard to not Uber Eats later when you talk about it like that.
How glorious it is. Oh, it was a game changer, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I can see that being a slippery slope.
oh my god, it's the slipperiest slope.
Yeah.
It's John Street slippery.
Yeah, you haven't tried Uber Eats to the
Oh
van?
my god, is that slippery? I did it once, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe twice. When I was at my old spot, I'd just get them to deliver to fucking Surplus Sam's.
Meet
They'd
them
pull
there.
into Surplus Sam's, I'd jump out, you know. Hello!
That's me.
Yeah, I got Indian food one time. That's the only time I remember. I think I might have done it twice, though. But I got Indian food one time. Yeah.
I would
There's
try
a place
it.
I wanted to try, and it was like too far to drive, and I was like, I'll skip the dishes. I got a $10 credit or whatever, so I'll skip the dishes.
Yeah. See, like, that's the thing, though. Like, skip your dishes, your Uber Eats. Like, if you have to pay the actual full price for it, it's not fucking worth it. You have to.
You have to have your.
You gotta have a coupon.
Coupon.
30% off.
Do
You
you,
know.
though? Do you constantly get coupons for that shit?
I feel like you get. I
They're
get
easy to find
spammed
online
all
if
the
you're
time,
hurting, and
yeah.
also, there is like premium userage. I don't know what you'd even call
Rewards
that. Every
and
time I
shit.
sign in, it's like there's a new
Yeah.
$10 off offer if you use it before Sunday or something.
Yeah, it's like a video
I took
game.
my
It's
first
like,
Lyft the other day, and I only did
Oh.
it because there was a coupon for it.
I swear I use Uber fucking all the time now. Like it makes living in the city so much more enjoyable.
First
not
time I took
waiting on
Uber
buses
was
and
back
shit.
from the Rancid show.
Yeah,
First time I ever been in an
it
Uber.
changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're.
That was
yeah.
a game changer for sure.
Especially like you're saying, like in the city, it's like public transit is
It
fine,
sucks.
but
I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It takes 2 fucking hours.
and it's
you know,
COVID. Everyone's got fucking, there's people
Yeah,
not wearing
COVID.
masks on there, and it's dirty as shit. Like, I
Yeah,
ride my
there's
bike
no
to
amount of
places,
sanitizer
and
you
then
can
if I don't
act-
feel
you can
like
actually
riding my
do.
bike home, it's like, okay, I'll just like Uber home, and it's like $12 to get anywhere. Like, it's awesome. And I don't have to like hail a cab. I just like hit the button and just stand outside, and it comes and gets me like a car service. Like, it's kind of sick.
I mean,
kind of
and
the
even in
point of
these
it,
pandy
right?
times, it's totally unreasonable to think that like public areas are actually sanitized. Like
No.
they're just not. No matter how many people with
Fuck
bottles
that.
and rags you see walking around, it's like that does nothing.
No.
Like for all I know, you just spit in that bottle all day and now you're
A
spraying
few
it around.
times
Like, I
I've
have
been,
no idea.
like on a streetcar or something, and it'll like go to a stop, and there'll be like people running in and like cleaning it real quick and jumping out, kind of like a pit crew.
Okay.
But if they do that once
for
an
a minute.
hour, like that's still not enough
Totally.
for the hundreds of people that are on it every hour, thousands.
Yeah, 50 stops to
Yeah.
the next
Right.
next end of
By
the
the time
line,
it
it's
loops
like-
all the way back around to get
Oh,
another,
yeah.
it's gonna be hours. It's like it's not clean. I'm
Oh,
not touching anything. Just stand
I
there.
actually took when I bought the van there a couple weeks ago. Like it was the first time I had taken transit since COVID,
Yeah.
and it was like not much different, but it was just kind of like just being mindful of like, oh, I'm not touching this pole, I'm not touching this
Yeah.
door, I'm not leaning
Hands
my
in my
face on
pockets.
this window.
Yeah.
Like
See, I feel like there's times when I catch myself where it is just like, okay, like you haven't washed your hands, you need to go wash your hands.
wash
then,
your
like-
hands all week. Yeah.
Right, go wash your
You
hands,
had
and
4
then in the
poos and no
process
hand
of, like,
washes.
Going to wash my hands. It's like mostly at work, right? Like it's just like I'm not always just constantly sanitizing my hands, but it'll be like you should go wash your hands, and it's like going to wash my hands, and then it's just like instantly like in my face, in my mouth, like touching everything, like just
Yeah, totally.
subconsciously, like,
Well,
like grab
they're
my
clean.
butt. Yeah, grab my butt, touch everything, and then touch my face, and then like, okay, I gotta wash my hands now. Like, you know what I mean? But it's like
yeah.
just gave myself whatever it was, shoved it right into my fucking nose.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm ready for this lockdown shit to be like, we literally just entered this like 2 days ago, but it's like,
I know it's
man,
crazy, man.
I can't believe we're doing
crazy.
wave 3.
But it's like out here, it's like you're the one that told me that shit was getting locked. I didn't even know
Yeah.
that shit was going off around here. And then when I looked into it, it's like, oh, it's mostly kind of like not a big deal. There's no dine-in is essentially the only thing I've personally noticed. Like you go into a Hortons, there's no dine-in anymore. You go into a restaurant, like I went to Pizza Garden the other day again, which I gotta get a grip on, man. I gotta fucking wrangle in this pizza habit I've been getting this spring. Like 3 times a week, I'm going to get fucking Pizza Garden because it's so goddamn good.
Just a slice or a full za?
Full za usually. Then after this, like once tonight, I'll probably get it. But I got it yesterday, so I've leftovers for today. But then I'll if I'm out and about, I'll just get a slice. You know.
Oh yeah.
It's like 2 in a pop for $7, right? And they're always hot and fresh. So. But it's like you do that even once a week is like, if you're an average once a week, it's still too much. But I'm doing it like 2 and 3 times a week. Right? But, yeah, like I've only noticed the dine-in thing being different out here. Otherwise, it's exact same as it's been. Like, we're pretty spoiled compared to you guys, in Ontario. So I got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, dine-ins haven't been open in a good year. Hortons have always had the fucking tape on every entrance and exit. Just guide you through like a maze.
Yeah, see, I think for...
I hate seeing, like, Value Village and the malls open.
Oh, my God,
But then it's, like, literally, like, 3 blocks away, all the mom-and-pop shops are, like, out of business, closed. And it's like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, these people are capable of abiding by the same rules and regulations.
Way
Maybe
more
there's not
strict.
enough business, and that's why. But, yeah, for whatever reason, they're way more strict on small businesses.
Yeah, makes no sense.
Than these corporations. It's like...
Well,
it seems shady.
What's so dumb about it, though, is it's like, it's totally, like, these, like, myself included, like, essential worker, like, I work in a warehouse in a factory, like, this is the areas that are being hit now with the COVID-19, the grocery stores, you know what I mean? Like, the places where it's, like, it's not necessarily front lines hospital, but it's, like, front lines where people converge together, right?
The new front line.
And that's just, I feel like that, like, there was a point in the pandemic where it was like the long-term care home people were the ones at risk because they were all dying, right? But they've all been vaccinated, that it's like, okay, like, now that they're done, it should be these essential workers that fucking you deemed essential a year ago to keep the economy alive. Like, why not give it to them as hey, thanks for coming out kind of thing, right? Like, but so it's like I don't get where you closing the local skateboard shop is gonna fix this problem. It's gonna slow it. It's gonna,
Not even though. I feel like
we
morons that would go to a mall are the ones that are gonna get it. So
the mall makes no sense to me, and like
no,
I feel
it makes
like
zero fucking sense.
The other thing is I feel like here in Ontario, it's like it's still just Peel and the Greater Toronto area that cannot get their numbers under control. And, like, out here in Guelph, like, numbers are up, but it's, like, they're up by, like, 10. That it's almost like a superficial lockdown, that it's like if we lock down for a month, the numbers in the areas around Toronto and Peel will get their numbers back in order. And then, like, but then that province number will go down by, like, 300 or 400, and it'll be like, oh, look, like, it's not as bad as it was. But it's like, no, it's still raging in Peel and Toronto. Like,
we're not coming out of lockdown.
You guys have been in lockdown the whole time. Like,
Like,
you guys have been in
bullshit.
lockdown now since November, and the numbers are getting inflated again.
Yeah,
and it's like, okay, like they just locked everybody else down, and it's a big deal. But like to you guys in Toronto, it's just like, well, we've been here for fucking 6 months. Like, how is it going to change? How is locking it down now going to make it better for you guys numbers wise?
Like, Winners is still open. Like, it's not changing anything.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, yeah, because people still got to make their nut. That fourth quarter earning bullshit.
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
It's all fucking bullshit. And people still feel the need to consume to fill, like, that hole in their life, that void that they have. It's like, it's fucking dumb. And all those people should get COVID and should fucking die. Let them go. Let them rot. Fuck them.
Sew them up.
Sew them up and dump them in the ocean, baby.
Yeah. Sew them up and get cough in their face. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, this has got to be it. The vaccines will catch up eventually, and
I think that's going to be like the final push towards like whatever the new normal is going to be.
I don't know. it's ramping up. It looks promising. Hopefully we get them.
Yeah, but again, like
soon.
it's like these numbers, like these small fluctuations, like, oh, we're down 100, up 100, down 100. It's like no matter what we do, we're always down and up, and it's like who fucking cares? Like we have to just like agree that we're gonna start opening up at a certain date. Vaccines will be at a certain percentage. Let's just fucking go for it. And then if as shit happens, as numbers continue to rise, it's like, okay, well, it's like half the population's vaccinated, and we're just gonna, you know, if you're worried about getting it, if you're vulnerable, if you're in the demographic that's more susceptible, just protect yourself. And let's just get on with it, dude. We can't just live in this in-between world forever, you know?
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm having one of the best years of my life, so it's kind of like, whatever.
It's not
you
that
know,
bad.
like, I hate to say it. I hate to be that guy, but because I don't
yeah.
have anything to lose, I'm kind of just like riding the fringe and, you know, making the best of it. I mean, my social life is non-existent. That's the only complaint I have. Like, otherwise, you know, I'm about to start like the best job I've ever had in my life. I've got the most vans I've ever had in my life, you know. Like, I'm happy.
It's a
the
real
dog's
marker.
healthy. I got a banjo. I'm fucking great.
Nice.
You know?
Good to hear. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I feel the same way. Like I've been nothing but productive the last little bit. Like I'm renovating my basement, and it's just, you know, it's there's no excuse not to do things like that. Yeah,
Totally.
Like I can't go see my friends, so I have all this spare time to either sit around and play video games. Although today I sat around and played video games for a cool like 4 hours, and it was just like my dick was a wreck.
You
The
don't
whole
feel
time.
guilty though.
Good to know.
Yeah, I was hitting the R2 button with it, just like shoot.
Yeah.
Still just Red Dead or hockey?
I was playing a bit of hockey today, a bit of Ghosts of Tsushima. I was switching around.
Oh,
We played some Crash Bandicoot 3 the other night. That was a nice treat again.
Oh, Kevin's getting in on it with you?
Yeah, every couple months we
Multiplayers?
bust it out, but we beat it last night. I beat it last night. Fucking bitch.
Well, I guess with that one we could wrap this
Didn't know how to
fucking
crash.
bonus sewed out with this high fashion
Or
ending.
Bandicoot.
Or Bandicoot. But other than that, like, just like getting so many projects getting done in the home, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a good opportunity to, like, put some effort and some energy into your hobbies and vices. The good, positive vices, you know? Whether it be, like, you know, video games, like, if there's all these other stuff going on in the world, there's parties and relationships you're ignoring and all this social obligations, or not even obligations, social, like, interactions that come up that you're just ignoring it just to play video games. It's like, hey, that's a problem. But when the world's locked, well, to me, that would be a problem. But, like, when the world's locked down and nothing's going on, it's like spending 4 hours on a Saturday playing video games and ignoring everything else. Like, oh, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there's actually, like, there's no, like, downside to that. Unless, again, you're ignoring your relationships and whatever else. But,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're incorporating Kevin into your video game playing...
No, not today. Not today.
Well, she could figure it out. Like, get her own hobbies, right?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Get
you
a
should
hobby.
find something that you want to dive into for 4 hours on a Sunday.
Yeah.
You got that Pilates machine upstairs. Go use that.
Oh my God, go garden.
Tell her to buy a van. Tell her to buy a van.
Yeah, get a nice van.
No, she doesn't fucking drive. Not since the crash.
Since the crash of 2019.
All right. Well, with that, let's thank you, Bike Thieves, for the intro or the outro, and we're gonna be back later. Bye.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week. We
Bye.
are
Are you
pretty
gonna
much
puke or
experts.
something? Why are
You
you
can check
so
us out
quick?
on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. While you're at it, go have a look at our Facebook page. You can ask an expert any time of day or night, whatever you like. And if you're into it, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We want to hear from you, baby. Thanks again, everybody. Tune in next week. We are pretty much experts, and we love you, I guess.